Are we ready?
You're live.
I'm live? Okay.
We're posting it live.
Again, welcome everybody tonight. We're going to kick this off a little late, but we'll get going here. Like I said, the National PTA did provide a script and presentation, so we're going to walk through this. I've read over this a few times, but bear with me. Logistically, I think I need to be on the other side. Maybe. Okay. So, as I said, my name is Kara Keaton, and I'm a PTA member, and my son is here at Garden Springs Elementary. Let's see, we put together a really short agenda tonight. We're going to dive into a little bit about digital awareness right now, and then they call this the breakout sessions or passport activities, which I believe, I'm going to borrow this real quick. You got one of these at the beginning, so we're going to have 3 of the passport activities or breakout sessions. You can check as you go along. Please make sure, I know there's not a space for it, but put your name and email address at the top. We're going to use this to do door prizes at the end of the night. And also, I do want to make sure I have your email address for follow-up, and we will be putting everything online after tonight's event. So if you're looking for any of the handouts or you want to share with others, we'll have that available. So these are your passport cards. Let's go through kind of a few goals for the evening. Like I said, we're going to do your passport activities. Then we're going to do a share out, which is more or less a wrap up and coming back together, go over a few things we've learned, and talk about how we're going to take this back and use this in our day-to-day lives, and hopefully share with others. So, some ground rules. Oh, I went over the goals. Let's just skip on over that. Okay, the ground rules. It's a safe place here tonight. No one has all the answers, even our experts, but they hopefully can guide you in the direction you need to go. Feel comfortable. We hope you'll feel comfortable asking questions tonight, sharing about your own experiences. And the idea behind this is to be more of a discussion and learning experience instead of just you sit there and listen to someone else talk, which I know is what you're doing right now, but at least you're enjoying Fazoli's while you do that. So we're going to discuss real quick some of the current research in regards to digital awareness. And I know you're eating, but let's go through this real quick and raise your hand. If you, spelling mistake, if you own a computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, even kids, raise your hand. How many in here? Even a cell phone, tablet, share it with a brother or sister. So pretty much everyone here owns or shares a tablet with someone in their family. If you've used one or more of those devices today, how many's used one of those devices today? At your home. Let's do that first. So how many of the kids have used one today at school? Yeah, I believe you. Do you test? Do you do math testing on that? Okay, so you should be using those today. If you've ever asked your parent, this is for the kids, I don't know, it could be for the adults too. If you've ever asked your parent to stop looking at the phone to talk to them. So you've asked your parent, how many of the kids have asked their parents? Let me rephrase this. I think I asked that backwards. How many of the parents have asked their kids to stop looking at the devices and talk to them? So I think we have low-key addiction maybe to our devices sometimes, and that's one of the issues that we are going to discuss. Feel free to go ahead and fix yourself a plate, okay? Oh, is it wrong button? For parents, have you ever seen your child on an app you've never heard of?
Raise your hand.
No, I should raise my hand too. Out of curiosity, what's the one, can you throw some names out, Lisa? TikTok. Musical.ly at one time. Any others?
Roblox.
You don't know what that is by now?
I do now.
Well, good for you.
Okay, kids. Have you all ever used an app that your parents do not understand?
Everyone should raise their hand.
What?
Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, every game I play.
That's pretty much true. What,
Say
Ella?
Minecraft, Bill, Fortnite, TikTok.
There's a lot of apps out there. And so parents have the challenge of trying to not only monitor what you do and make sure it's safe, but we have to learn. And sometimes we're tired and we just don't want to learn about anything else. So you all have to be patient with us when we ask lots of questions, which I'm sure every one of you are. Maybe not. Okay, so the digital awareness. Here's some more research, and some of this is geared more towards teens. 93% of 6 to 12-year-olds in the U.S. have access to a tablet or smartphone. 66% of 6 to 12-year-olds in the U.S. have their own device. Children aged 13 to 18 are watching, playing, and using digital media up to 9 hours a day. That is more time than they spend at school, which is kind of scary. And make sure everyone, as you drive, to please fill up your plates. And we have tons. Go back for seconds. And children age 8 to 12 watch, play, and use digital media up to 6 hours a day. Again, almost the same amount of time that they're at school. And these are national numbers here. So our kids are using digital media a lot. It's kind of the equivalent of a 9-to-5 work day for adults. And in our teenagers' case, it's it's not all irresponsible use, but as parents, we should be aware of what they're doing. This is a quote. Teenagers aren't just posting carelessly. They're surprisingly thoughtful about what they choose to reveal on social media. So one of the discussion topics tonight is digital footprint. And I mean, all these intertwine, and they're going to overlap some. It's not that kids and teens are totally irresponsible, but they're still kids and teens. And as parents, we need to work with them to make sure they understand how to use digital media responsibly. But as parents, that's also an issue. I was told by my teenage nieces that they did not appreciate some of the photos I put of them on my Facebook page, which I thought they looked really cute when they were younger, but evidently they didn't want that to be on Facebook. So we had to have a talk a few years ago, and I now only put pictures that are approved in advance. Nothing is posted about them, their activities, without them giving me the okay, and that's carried over to Jake as well. So they really do pay attention to what you post. You should pay attention to what they post as well as parents. Here's a few of the platforms, and it's hard to see these numbers, and I think, where they're spending their time online. So, it doesn't come on the notes here. So, YouTube, say they use it, most teenagers and kids say they use that 85%, Instagram about 72%, Snapchat 69%, Facebook 51%, Twitter 32%, and Tumblr, Reddit, some of those fall on the smaller numbers. Most of them use, it seems, YouTube and Snapchat, which we all know those are popular with kids. I still don't have a Snapchat account, but thankfully he doesn't either. So let's take a closer look at a few other graphs. So in 2018, Pew data shows that teens are having more positive than negative interactions online, which is a good thing. But those negative interactions do have an impact on the teens. On the first pie chart, we see that 31% of teens say they have mostly positive interactions. 45% say they have mostly neutral interactions. Neither are positive or negative on that. And then 24% is negative. On the second pie chart, it shows that 25% of teens indicate that they are less lonely because of their own online interactions. Only 3% of teens indicate that they are lonelier due to their online interactions. And this is Pew Research. So they have these little multiple thought bubbles here, just some quotes from different kids. One child, age 15, she said, I feel that social media can make people my age feel less alone or lonely. It creates a space where you can interact with people. Girl age 14 said, my mom had to get a ride to the library to get what I have in my hand all the time. She reminds me of that a lot, and I guess that's more of an informational access. And a boy age 15 said, it enables people to connect with friends easily and be able to make new friends as well. So, do any of their comments surprise you? I mean, think about, I hate to say how old I am, but mid-40s. I can't imagine being able to talk to my friends in another state just by looking at a phone. First of all, I never imagined having a cell phone. That was science fiction at the time. Not only can our kids talk to their friends across town, they're playing games with them, they're doing research, they're taking their tests on digital platforms. So things have changed a lot, and some of us keep up with it, and some of us kind of feel overwhelmed by all the changes. So here's a video about, it's about a 2-minute video on about social media and digital awareness. Oops, hold on. Okay. Did it work earlier, Mr. B? Did it just take a minute? Oh, here we go. I think it was quite loud.
The varsity soccer team had played 10 or 11 games and lost every single one by really embarrassing margins. Our goalkeeper, Daniel Quee. He was taking a lot of criticism, even though he was only a freshman playing varsity goalkeeper. We thought we were on the road to our first game that wouldn't be a loss. At the last minute, everything changed. Their star player, with a minute left, cracked the shot, and unfortunately, Quee wasn't able to stop it. It was in the back of the net, and the next thing we knew, the ref was blowing the final whistle.
It's horrible, I guess, because as a goalie, that little one mistake, is a goal, and a goal in soccer is huge. This guy said, "Oh, I'm gonna make a great photo. We have a bunch of pictures of you making great saves." The photos went up, and I was just shocked. It was just horrible. After those photos were posted, there was a lot of tension. And I didn't want to go to school. I felt like taking time off. I didn't want that attention. I didn't want that negativity.
We decided we had to do something. And eventually we found this great picture of Quee making a save. And the 3 or 4 of us at about 7 p.m. made it our profile picture. I came back about an hour later, and my newsfeed had exploded. It started with the soccer team making our profile pictures, and the girls' soccer team made their profile pictures, but then the whole school got involved. Over 100 people had either liked it, commented on it, tagged themselves in it, made it their profile pictures, and it was like my entire newsfeed was covered in random Quee stories. He came to school the next day like he was 10 feet tall. Once he had that confidence, he would.
Okay. So while Mr. B gets it back on the slideshow, that's right at the end. More or less what happens is, of course, they posted positive images on Facebook. They were shared. It was turned out that he felt good about himself at the end, whereas the negative, after having those negative images posted. So as we know, our kids hopefully are mostly having positive interactions, but there are those negative experiences. So what can we do as parents to help our kids identify what's good and what's bad, and how, even if other people might post negative, what they can do to be positive and react to that in a positive way. So can someone tell me what a bystander is? Anyone? Yes, ma'am. Right, but that is almost spot on. The dictionary says a bystander is a person who is present at an event but does not take part. Now, what is an upstander? Yes, ma'am.
So you stand up to a bully and fix the victim of the bully way.
that you two have really paid attention with Miss Moses, I think. The dictionary says an upstander is a person who speaks out or acts in support of an individual who's being bullied or being hurt. So very good, girls. I will have to tell Miss Moses that she is doing an excellent job. So this video was an example of that, where some kids took his missed goal and made it a very negative digital experience for him or online experience. Other kids said, hey, we can do something different. Instead of just being a bystander and saying this isn't fair, we're going to be an upstander and we're going to post the positive out there. So even on digital platforms, you can choose to be a bystander or an upstander. So in the next quick, it's still, okay. So we're going to kind of wing it from this point. Hopefully all these are on here. Okay, there's some red and green cards. And if you are done eating, you can participate with this. When I ask a question, you can hold it up and say whether you agree, which is the green side, hold the green side up, or disagree with the red side. So I use social media on a regular basis. So we have mainly the adults. Few of the one standoff there. Most of the kids don't use social media regularly. Most of my friends, this is for adults and kids both, are on social media. Again, the adults tend to be green and a mix of red and green. I don't know, are we considering Fortnite social media? Where does that fall into this? What's that? Yes. Okay. Now kids, actually everyone, which I was surprised, I would have to hold up a green card. I never thought I would on this one. My parents are on social media. I never thought my mother would be on social media, but she is. And I talk about, yes, I know. And sometimes she and I have to have a talk about what she posts too. So my kids are on social media. Parents? Okay. We've got a mix here too. This is a good one for the parents and the kids. I know what my family members do, but are doing when they use technology. And this is across the board. This is laptops, computer, PCs, phones, iPads. We got a mix here. What about my family? Here's a good one, because these few things are going to come up in your discussions. My family shares their usernames, and we follow each other on social media. Got a mix here. We have some speakers that are going to talk to everyone about that one right there. Okay, a few more questions, and then we're about done with the beginning welcome. I am happy with how much time I spend on technology. Of course, me a red card, because I want to throw up a red card on that one. So, I got mixed on there. How about this? I am happy with how much time my family spends on technology. Another red card there, too. I think that's what a lot of us do. Okay, one more, or a couple more. I think about the information that I share on social media differently than my parent or child does. So if your parent, do you think about it differently than your child does? Children, would you share the same information on social media that your parents do about yourself? Again, we have some great speakers back here that's going to talk about that, because that is important, that you all know what everyone's expectations are when it comes to social media. So, are we up yet? No, okay. So just real quick, we're going to do this quick since we don't have the presentation. There's some differences. Kids and parents' answers are different with those questions. I think you're going to find there's differences when you have your discussions. Is there anything else about using social media or using technology we haven't talked about that you want to talk about tonight? Any other issues that come up? Okay, keep that question in mind. We're going to dive in a little deeper in our breakout sessions. What we're going to do real quick, okay? What I would love to do is keep families together because I think it's important for y'all to kind of talk together, and it'd be good for you to stay with your family when we go through these. We want to try to be as even as possible. You're going to talk to every one of our speakers tonight. If you want to leave, if you're done with your plates, just leave them here on this table and we will clean them up after you go to your, I'll clean them up after you go to your session. We're going to start here and have maybe two families go over here. We'll start with Carol. I'm going to have you all and one of the first families over here go to Miss Alex back there.
Hey there, Will.
Okay. And then we have a couple of families.
We're going over here. Once you all bring your waters with you.
And I'm guessing you're filming all that we do.
It's live.
It's live, what, on Facebook Live or something like that?
Yep.
Nice. Good use of technology.
Yeah.
I'm going to do whatever this is.
All right. Let's have a seat. Talk.
These are so hard.
What, the fact that it's so small? Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So my name's Tyson. A lot of folks talking about kind of group work units. But we get some responses for this and whatnot. How old are you? Okay. 4 days. How old are you, Dan? So you're almost 10. And are you 15? You're 6. 6. 6. Got it.
computers.
So there's a couple things to talk about. With this being family talk, a couple things to talk about. One, do y'all have social media accounts? You have a Snapchat account. Okay. How about you? You have a YouTube channel. Okay. All right. How many accounts do you have on Snapchat? Just one. Okay. So I did a survey of 238 children in the school system that parents were wanting to take a survey. And this is what I came up with. Do you have multiple accounts? Half of them said no, and 35% said yes. Multiple accounts. And what they said the reason for, can you imagine why somebody would have a second account?
So they can have
So you can like it multiple times? Okay, that seems like a not bad reason.
Why do you think people would have more than one account?
So they can bully people with more names. That's a bad reason, right? Okay. Why do you think people have more than one account? Low storage? Okay. What about you, parents? Can you think of a reason why somebody might have 2 accounts, 3 accounts? One of the reasons I got for most of these kids was so that they can have something on there that their parents can't see. And that's not a good reason, right? No? But it's reality. So y'all should know about that. It's a trend that started and then it's growing. More are getting it. So then there becomes this thing, do we talk about it? Well, yes, we have to. The cat's already out of the bag. We have to put our heads in the sand and hope that our kids don't learn about it. So that's one thing. Now let me ask you, do you have your own device? Phone or anything like that? Do you have an iPod? What about you? iPod and Kindle? Do you have your own device?
We have a Chromebook.
Chromebook. Got it.
You don't have a phone.
So your child has his own device. And they have their own device. Do you know the password? What about you? What do you do if they change the password? Or what would you do if they change the password and went lose it?
Yeah.
Good thing. Good plan.
I once forgot my password, but then I remembered it, so I password anymore.
There you go. There you go. So, of the responses, 60% of children said their parents have their password, but 36% said no. 36 children actually admitted that their parents didn't have their password. I think the number's higher than that. Just recently, I was talking with a good close family friend, and they said, "Yeah, my 16-year-old doesn't have their password in 6 months." And the reason that came up was when the mom asked for the phone and I was there, he wouldn't give the phone. Automatically, something's on that phone that he doesn't want mom to know about. Right, right. So that's a thing. Of the social media apps that children say they use, Snapchat is number one. Did you say you have a Snapchat account? Okay. Think about that one. It's getting so popular nowadays that I think it's kind of mainstream, but it does have the ability for stuff to be deleted or not seen ever again. That means you can't monitor that type of content anymore. Now I don't know what Roblox is. What's Roblox?
It's all in one game, but there's like different.
It's a little bit like a Minecraft game.
Okay.
They can chat back.
Got it.
And there's settings you can turn on. And you can like play a lot of different games and like but in Minecraft you can only like and then she has multiple accounts on Roblox because I guess she gets tired of doing these like can't delete accounts. So like if your friend she can have friends and then you can physically.
Got it.
We had that. We deleted it.
You had you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Do you know what the minimum age is to have a social media, to have a Snapchat account? 13, right? That is a federal law. The Child Online Protective Act says 13. That's the minimum age for social media. So we set speed limits, right? What's the speed limit on New Circle Road? 55. It's there for a reason, right? We set all these limits, and they always get broken. So most of the children that I talked to, they knew it was 13. They still have it. It happens all the time. It's obviously.
The only reason I have Snapchat is because I moved 2 years ago, and I had a best friend who she couldn't text, she could only use Snapchat, and we only use Snapchat.
Got it. Yeah, I understand. I get it. I totally get it. But why do we have these restrictions in place? Is it because we can't trust the kids? From who? Bad people, right? People that are trying to use it for not good purposes. Okay? For the most part, parents, y'all can trust your kids with certain things, right? I mean, especially if you're doing active parenting, if you're actually talking to them. It's the people that are doing bad. That's why we have these restrictions. Like, why do we have locks on our doors? So people don't rob us, right? I like to say it's to keep honest people honest. If somebody really wanted to get in your house, they can get in your house and knock through the door and see other windows and stuff like that. That's why we keep locks on them. Same thing for children. So some things to combat that. One, if you are going to choose to let your child have social media, do you actually have the same social media?
But my mom does.
Understood. A majority of the parents. So if y'all took the survey you saw, it's a parent asked one way, child asked the other way, and when you see the results, it's kind of shocking when you see the parents say 10% have Snapchat, but 90% of the kids have Snapchat. And then you ask the parent, well, how does it work? I have no idea how Snapchat works. Well, why are you letting your child on there? We need to be cognizant of what's going on. That's kind of the way that goes. Now, what are your favorite? I love doing Snapchat. Do you have any other apps that you like? Sometimes Minecraft. Sausage Run. Okay, I'll have to download that one and look at it.
Monkey Disco and stuff. You can sell it.
And then it like
Once you say that, raise your hand.
Can't stop. And I'm walking very slow, and then it keeps happening.
Monkey Preschool Lunchbox. I'll download it. Is it fun?
It's a
Okay.
kiddie game.
It can still be fun.
Yeah, and our school isn't allowed to be so. I mean, I really never say it. Today, people I got in trouble. I know the sharpest left down she's the nicest. But my teacher, she a kid who was and he was schools, and she still had his baby, so he was at the school. She looked up pictures of cats, and she blocked him.
Oh, goodness. Where do their devices go? In the room? Devices. So you have a community space for devices?
I'll keep my phone.
How about you?
The iPads are in the kitchen, but his Chromebook.
Sometimes the iPad charges.
Sometimes it goes
My
upstairs,
Chromebook
but most of the
charges.
time it's in the kitchen.
Okay. You're still at a young age.
We haven't had a problem with the news.
Right. So it doesn't have to be a carte blanche rule, but one thing that is recommended, and personally I agree with it, is either community or at the parent's bedside. And you have to go to sleep. That's a good time to get in there and look around and see what's going on. Do you plan to, as your children get older, use monitoring apps or
Yes.
nanny apps or something like that?
Yeah.
Do you use that? How much data comes back to you off of that?
I don't
Okay.
have it. I don't have
Okay,
it
you
yet.
plan on
You
using
said
it?
you were going to.
Plan on it? So here's one thing, I'll give you a tale of caution on that. How many text messages, do you send a lot of text messages throughout the day? Do you? I'm a text messaging fool, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing and multiply it by 10, and that's about what an adolescent does. I'll just take that as a broad number. I know this because I've investigated these cases, and I see it, and it's entirely too much data to go through. Restrict over monitor. 5 minutes? Thanks. Restrict over monitor is what I say. And so what that means is put a passcode on that parental controls. All these devices have parental controls. And you can just Google, how do I parental control my iPhone or Android, and it'll tell you. Nobody uses Windows phones anymore, so don't even worry about that. And then parental controls say no installing and no deleting apps without my permission. And then you have to put it on there. The restriction on there?
But when you download, are you gonna put restriction mode on the iPad?
I'm going to talk about it in a
Then
little.
I won't be able to use the
Yeah.
And then it says install, and then you have to put ask or cancel it.
Right, yeah. And that's not so bad, is it?
But you don't have to ask them to.
So I'll give you a story that I relate to many parents. When my sister and I rode the bus to school together, she would like to wear clothing to school that was inappropriate. I think we all kind of know what I'm talking about here. At least what my dad would say is inappropriate. She would just change her clothes on the bus and change it on the way home. So let me take that into the digital realm. You install Snapchat on the bus ride to school, you uninstall it on the way home, your parents are on the watch. That's why I say restrict. Restrict so you know what's going on the phone. Now, why are we talking about all this? Because of bullying. So, and I don't know if these are accurate, but 26% of children that answered this survey said they were bullied online. Y'all know what bullying is? How does it feel when somebody bullies?
You feel like you just want to get out of the phone. You just like want to be seen with anyone.
Feels bad? Is that kind of what we're getting out of that? Yeah. Parents, I mean, there's no way we went through life without feeling the effects of something negative, right? Think in your head, what's the worst effect that could happen there?
Not
And we don't want that, right? Where does that bad feeling go? No, we're good. We don't want that. So if we can protect them from getting bullied, that's kind of the goal there. Who would you tell if somebody bullied you? Your parent? Miss Moses? Is Miss Moses a teacher? A counselor? Okay. We like to use the term trusted adult. Okay? So you'll have to get with your parents and they'll tell you what a trusted adult is. Parents, it's a very important discussion to have with your children. Trusted adults are who we need to tell about these things.
Yeah, Miss Moses, like she comes in and like tells us about stuff. Yeah, like and she explains like trusted adults.
Yeah.
And she said like when she plays videos like on a Disney and stuff, she has this humongous cards that are black and white on the back. So you see the picture, she says the words and she reads it off and it's like questions. And sometimes you have to answer like, how would you feel if blah blah blah.
Thank you.
So 15 minutes doesn't cover everything that needs to really be talked about. Y'all are going to hit some other people down the line. If you take my survey, sure thing, if you want one. If you take my survey, at the end of the survey, screenshot it. It has my number on it. Please take my card. Or I'll hang out afterwards and happily talk to you about internet security and things that I've seen in my investigation, stuff that maybe not be for them.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yes. Thank you so very much.
We're moving groups? Okay.
Is your computer a case?
It's both. It's everything. It's got a handle. How about that?
I know. So people don't think it's a computer. I didn't know what that was. I thought that was just a little like case that you carry around. I didn't even know.
It mounts in my car. All sorts of things. It was nice to meet y'all.
What do we say?
Thank you. I stole my mom's name tag.
Hey, my crew, we're gonna go see the police officer. Are you ready to go meet him? Let's go. Come on, you just please. Oh, okay, clear for a minute. Sorry.
Sergeant, yeah, Sergeant, yeah. Rotating now.
I'll fix this real quick.
Sure, don't you? Think what other people bring. Hey, we're rotating, everyone.
Mommy. I'm going to use that.
That's where it's right. Wherever you can hear it. I'm whole person hear it, so.
And now I know she's a princess.
Am I in somebody's way? Taylor. Big Taylor. Oh, here. You go. You go. I'll screw on down. Thank you. Hey, congratulations.
Password and privacy.
Congratulations.
Do you guys use any websites or applications that require usernames and passwords?
Yeah.
What do you use? Tell me.
Fortnite. Minecraft and
Okay.
YouTube. Roblox.
Okay. Okay. When you guys had to set up your username and password, how did you create your password? What did you use for your password?
Don't tell her what
Don't tell me what the password was. What did you use? Did you use anybody's name?
Numbers.
Numbers that were like a birthday or
Like a mix of them.
a mix of numbers. That's good. Okay. Anybody else got any interesting things in any of their passwords they use? Don't tell me your password, but just tell me the name of the game. Okay. Anybody else?
I had
Just their kids' names, or friends' names, or dogs' names, favorite team name like Go Cats, or their birth dates, anniversary dates, and their password. It's a lot of personal information that can be easily hacked, and people can find out that information and get into your account. So what I'm going to teach you guys tonight is how to create strong passwords that's good to use for all of your accounts. Next, who do you guys tell your passwords to? Who do you share your passwords with? Okay.
if you're about to change it, you can tell what your old password was.
Okay. To who?
Probably your sister's gonna change it.
Okay.
I would tell no one but my parents.
Okay. But
People I can trust.
people you can trust. Okay. Does that include friends?
No, where's my parents? I can trust them about anything.
Yeah. So sometimes if you give your friends your password, sometimes they can accidentally do things in your account, like spend all your Robux on accident. So it's really good not to share passwords. Do you guys know what phishing is? The PH? You know what phishing is?
I know what it means. I know what it means. Searching for passwords too.
Yes, correct. Searching for passwords for accounts. So sometimes you'll get an email that has a fake website linked to it, and you'll go there and I'll say, give me your username and password of a site that's not the correct site. So when you go to a website, always make sure it has HTTPS at the top. The S means secure when you go to a website. Don't always think that your emails coming in are real emails that are from, it could be spam. You also don't ever want to give out any personal information on a website. Like if you think your credit card's website, maybe there's sometimes you could get to a wrong website for your credit card and give out a credit card number. Your credit card website will never ask you for a credit card number. So just be cautious of those things. So I'm going to have you guys watch a video real quick. I wanted to make sure you do a few things before we watch the video because the term phishing is used in this video too. You put in my secure password.
No.
But you can see what I'm typing. That's why I'm trying to protect myself.
I don't know.
I'm guessing do you know?
Wait, how many slides do you have?
Have you reached your allotted time level?
Nope. I haven't had it in 5 days.
I was talking to Miss
I'm
Carter.
gonna have to turn around.
Maybe she's lost her. She's not past her.
Can I please get my password and get home?
Not when you're not paying attention. Okay, then let's get to this. Not the time to ask, is it? Why are you shaking up my data now, dude?
Okay. You all may not be able to hear down there, so I'm not going to come up here to watch this.
I go on YouTube.
Did you change it?
Don't share your passwords. You should only share your passwords with your parents. Or a guardian. You can maybe have no longer you can lose a friend that way.
You might have.
Do you guys know what multi-factor authentication means?
No.
That means that it takes two things to log in. So it may take